And can we have Clyde Roy come to the stage, please? Well, this is a special night for the Roy family. Clyde Roy, entering tonight in the athlete category, joins brother Sid, inducted in 1989 also as an athlete. The brothers were superb athletes, baseball players who made their mark in Nova Scotia when baseball was the summer sport, when local leagues encouraged the attraction of import ball players, but also created opportunities for the best of the locals to show their talent. Clyde Roy was one of those best of the locals. Born in 1920 in Westville, Clyde was considered a workhorse as a right-handed pitcher. He was 14 when he first played organized baseball in Westville and recalls enthusiastically his first road trip to Amherst. He says, "I thought I was on the New York Yankees going away to Amherst." He says, "I was never away before." While working in the Stellarton coal mines, Roy joined the Stellarton Albions senior team in 1938. For the next 13 years, he starred in a province dotted with outstanding players from away, many of whom had shots at the major leagues. Clyde played with the Stellarton Albions, the Westville Miners, Truro Bearcats, and Halifax Shipyards. And while pitching for the Shipyards in 1944, he struck out 18 batters in one 9-inning game. As a kid in Truro, noted journalist Harry the Hat Fleming watched Clyde pitch for the Bearcats, and he recalls a playoff series with Spring Hill.
Spring Hill had won the previous year, and they were considered the team to beat, and Truro knew that. And the first game was in Spring Hill, and they beat Skit Ferguson 6-4 in Spring Hill, and Skit had not lost a game that year, or he didn't lose one thereafter. But we figured that if they beat Skit, then we're dead. The following day, Clyde came back and threw a 3-hitter. They won 10-2, and both runs were unearned, and all was right with the world.
I wish Harry had a better memory. Clyde spent 2 seasons in the Quebec-New York League, and late in that period signed a contract to play with the Memphis Chicks, a AA farm team of the Brooklyn Dodgers. But fate stepped in. In August of 1945, while playing for Three Rivers, Quebec, Roy's arm problems began when he tore a muscle in his throwing shoulder. He says, "I just went to throw and the ball went 10 feet. He went to Memphis's training camp, hoping the warmth of the South would alleviate the injury, but it was not to be. His major league aspirations, thought by those in the know to be a realistic dream, were dashed in the prime of his baseball career. Roy did pitch again, but never quite as effectively. In 1946, Clyde Roy was strong enough to help Truro Bearcats to make that a championship, a team that is in the Hall of Fame, and it boasted inductees such as Skit Ferguson, Johnny McKetton, and Johnny Clark. Win Langell was Clyde's catcher on that stellar Truro team, and he describes Clyde's pitching prowess.
Clyde was an excellent baseball player and a good team man too, and he was one of the best, I think, ball players in Nova Scotia and probably in the Maritime Provinces at the time he was playing. He was just a good team man, quite an individualist when he was pitching. He liked to throw fastballs, and that was his basic pitch, and he could throw it a little harder probably than most people I played with.
Was Clyde's catcher, Win Langell. Now, Fleming also was impressed with Clyde's speed, and he compared him with a Major League Hall of Famer and a 3-time American League Cy Young Award winner.
He was very fast. Some people would argue whether he was as fast as Len Boss of Spring Hill or not, but let them argue. But he had a very peculiar fastball in that he came over the top, and it seemed about halfway to the plate to what was described as a hop. To me, it came down and sort of gave the appearance of rising. And I've only seen one other pitcher that had that kind of a pitch, and that was the great Jim Palmer of the Baltimore Orioles.
So you, sir, are in good company, no question. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Clyde Roy to the athlete category of the Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame. I'd like to call the presenters to the stage, please. From AVW Tel-Aviv, the director of the Atlantic region, Brad Burrell. And to present the induction pin, a teammate and his catcher. This is Win Lanville from the Truro Bearcats. Let's welcome them both to the stage. I will. You're going to stay for just a second, though. Just don't go too quick. What about, all these memories that Harry mentioned and Win mentioned? What is your favorite of all the memories you had during this amazing baseball career?
Oh, I don't know. There's a few of them, I guess. I had some good teams behind me, Truro Bearcats, eh? Yeah.
Harry told me that you used to, prior to a game, you'd psych yourself up by walking around and manicuring the field. Do you remember that?
A lot of little tricks, yeah.
And they all worked, huh?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, what about any family here tonight you want to mention or thank?
Just my wife, who stuck with me all these years.
Yeah.
62 years.
Well, there's your best catcher, right? Yeah. Congratulations, Clyde. Clyde Roy, ladies and gentlemen.